Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. If you're a newer developer, or honestly just someone who's super fascinated by how massively popular apps handle absolutely crushing traffic without breaking a sweat, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're unlocking the secret to backend scaling. We are going to totally demystify how platforms like Netflix, Uber, and your favorite food delivery apps survive millions of requests seamlessly. All right, here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the scaling problem, then define what a queue actually is, look at how they save our servers, explore the current tech landscape, and finally lay out a developer roadmap just for you. Part 1. The scaling problem when traffic strikes. So, picture this. You just built a brand new food delivery app. You launch it, and out of nowhere, it goes incredibly viral. It is the hottest thing out there. Thanks to that viral fame, boom, 100,000 users open your app and place an order in just one single minute. Put yourself in the driver's seat here. If your server tries to handle all 100,000 of those requests simultaneously at this exact second, what's going to happen? Yeah, your server is absolutely going to crash. Why? Well, it's trying to process everything synchronously. That means your server is stuck trying to finish every single step of one user's order before it can even say hello to the next user. This forces everyone to wait like 5 to 10 seconds. And in the software world, a 10-second wait for 100,000 concurrent users will instantly max out your memory and totally tank the system. Now, beginners almost always assume the database is what fails. You might think the database is dead, but nope. The database is basically just a giant storage unit. The real bottleneck here is the server itself, the actual software trying to juggle and process this massive tidal wave of complex tasks all at the exact same time.
Which brings us to part 2. What is a queue? The core idea. So we obviously need to figure out how to stop this crash. And the hero of our story is a fundamental computer science concept called a queue.
Stripping away all the heavy jargon, a queue is simply a data structure that makes sure jobs are securely processed in the exact order they show up. It uses a principle called FIFO, first in, first out. It literally just holds the tasks safely, letting the system chew through them one by one. Nobody skips the line and nothing gets dropped. To make this super concrete, think about walking into your local bank. If 100 people walk in at once, they don't all just scream at the cashier simultaneously, right? That would be total chaos, basically our server crash. Instead, they form a nice, neat line. One cashier can efficiently handle everyone, from the first person in the door to the last. A software queue is literally just that organized line at the bank. All right, part 3, how queues save servers, the mechanics. Let's take that bank line analogy and apply it directly to saving your app's architecture. When someone places an order on your app, your backend is actually doing a ton of heavy lifting. It has to save the order, reduce the inventory stock, fire off a confirmation email, trigger a push notification, generate a PDF invoice, and finally update your analytics. If your server is forced to do all 6 of those things while the user just sits there staring at a loading spinner, crash city. But when we introduce a queue, we shift entirely to asynchronous processing. Instead of getting stuck, your main server only does step 1. It saves the order. Then it instantly shoots back a lightning-fast order successful message to the user. All those other heavy chores, the emails, the invoices, the analytics, they get shoved into the queue to be handled quietly in the background by separate worker servers. Your main server stays fast, light, and perfectly responsive. Moving on to part 4, the queue tech landscape, also known as your tool belts. Here's a look at the multiverse of queue tools developers are using right now. You've got extremely beginner-friendly options like BullMQ, which is awesome if you're a startup running Node.js. Then you scale all the way up to massive enterprise beasts like Apache Kafka or Pulsar. There are also specialized tools like RabbitMQ for enterprise messaging, Amazon SQS for pure cloud simplicity, and even lightweight stuff like Nats and Redis streams. Now, as a newer developer, please don't just grab the most complex tool because it sounds cool. You've got to match the tech to your actual scale. For a small app, BullMQ is incredibly easy. As you hit medium scale, RabbitMQ or SQS are fantastic choices. You really only want to mess with the heavy hitters like Kafka when you're dealing with very large, super complex throughput. Let's actually highlight a couple of these. First up, Apache Kafka. This is pretty much the undisputed industry king. Technically, it's an event streaming platform, and it is built to handle millions of events per second. It's used for massive scale applications and real-time analytics. It is ridiculously powerful, but fair warning, it comes with a very steep learning curve and complex infrastructure. On the flip side, what if you want literally zero server maintenance, pure simplicity? That is exactly where Amazon SQS shines. It's a fully managed service. That means AWS handles all the underlying infrastructure, the scaling, the patching, all of it, totally behind the scenes. You just focus on writing your code, and SQS handles the traffic jams.
And finally, part 5, your developer roadmap, from startup to enterprise. Here is your learning path. And honestly, do not let backend scaling intimidate you. Start small. Use BullMQ and Redis for your personal Node.js projects. Once you're comfortable there, you graduate to RabbitMQ as you join a growing startup. When you start dealing with massive products, you learn Kafka. And eventually, at the peak enterprise distributed level, you'll be weaving together things like Kafka, Pulsar, and Kubernetes. It's a really clear step-by-step journey. And just to prove that we're talking about true industry-standard concepts here, look at the tech stacks of the biggest companies on Earth. Netflix, Uber, LinkedIn, they are all running on Kafka to handle their global traffic. WhatsApp relies on RabbitMQ to process literal billions of messages. Amazon uses SQS alongside Kafka. These aren't just fun theories. This is the literal backbone of the modern internet. Well, we've covered a ton of ground in this explainer today, from crashing servers to the elegant simplicity of DAID queues. Now that you actually hold the keys to back-end scaling, my challenge to you is this. What are you going to build next? Seriously, take these concepts, set up a basic project using BullMQ or SQS, and just start experimenting. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep building.